Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Tenor Talk Soccer podcast. We just saw what happened. Manchester City got booted out of the Champions League by Olympic Lyon, and it was a massive surprise for all of us. Now, I want to discuss with you how this is going to affect Pep Guardiola's legacy. I feel people who are saying Pep Guardiola is a failure because he was brought in to win the Champions League and he hasn't won the Champions League. I feel they are being extreme. This man took over a team that was clearly in decline. Sterling was tagged an expensive, overpriced flop. Aguero was in decline. They said Aguero was finished. David Silva was said to have finished as well. They finished 66 points rather, level on points to Manchester United, who they finished above with only goal difference. Manchester City finished fourth the season before Pep Guardiola came in, and Louis van Gaal of Manchester United finished fifth, and Van Gaal was sacked. Let's not forget Van Gaal also won the FA Cup. Pellegrini won the Capital One Cup on penalty shootout versus Liverpool. Now, Pep Guardiola came in and he made Manchester City a team that everyone feared. Them getting 98 points and 100 points in back-to-back seasons is absolutely magnificent, and it instilled fear. Like, there's no game which anybody doesn't think Manchester City will win, apart from maybe a game of football against Liverpool. That's the only team that I think right now, even as at last season. So they've turned into this dominant force, and okay, of course they have a lot of world-class players, but also the person who made all this happen is Pep Guardiola. Now, his exits in Europe have been particularly disappointing, but he's won titles. So therefore, this cancels out the term failure. Pep Guardiola is not a failure by any standard. He's not a failure. This man, he's won titles and titles and titles, back-to-back league titles, 2 league titles in 4 years. So he's not a failure. You can't use the word failure. But then, if he keeps going out the way he has been going out to the Champions League, it's a massive dent on his legacy, in my opinion, because he has gone out to sides who are far weaker than him. They are not on the level. He's not going out to a Bayern or a PSG. He's going out to Lyon, to Monaco, to Liverpool, to Tottenham. And when we say Liverpool, we're not talking about this Liverpool here. We're talking about the Liverpool who finished 25 good points behind Manchester City that season. A side they were clearly better than. So what? There's no excuse. And I'm not going to call for Pep to be sacked. I think it's extreme. But Manchester City and Pep Guardiola in particular are getting to pressure points. They're getting to the point where they have to now deliver this thing. They have to, because it's not all about winning the Champions League. Only one club wins the Champions League. For example, every year a new team might win it, or we may see some other kind of dominance like we saw with Real Madrid some years ago. But the most important thing is the way you go out as a club like Manchester City. They're a club in their absolute prime. They have one of arguably the best footballer in the world in Kevin De Bruyne. They have a world-class squad. They have world-class depth. And in this moment, you can't even compare them to Real Madrid. Although Real Madrid won the league, and some other clubs have won the league too, but Manchester City seem like they're in their prime. The likes of Sterling, Jesus, like Mahrez, these guys are like in a very good moment, you know. Like Real Madrid seem like they're in a cycle. Not same is what it is. Like the likes of Luka, Toni Kroos, Cristiano has already gone, Karim Benzema, Sergio Ramos, Marcelo. These guys have played so much football and their legs are tired and they're still doing their best, okay? But it's like kind of a transition. So this is not a prime Real Madrid side. It isn't at all, not close to. But this is a Manchester City side with so much promise, and they keep going out in such an embarrassing manner. They didn't go out on goal, whatever, on aggregates. They lost 3-1. 3-1. Neutral ground, a final. This was like a final against the Lyon side that finished 7th in the league on. So by all means, this was extremely disappointing, extremely disappointing, and there's no other way to put it. Last season was the same thing. And for Pep Guardiola's legacy, as I said earlier, he is not a failure. Do not call Pep a failure. He's not a failure. We should not underrate or underestimate the magnitude of league titles. League titles are everything for dominant clubs. It's the main objective. Champions League, you're playing against the best clubs in Europe. You're playing against Cristiano Ronaldo's and Neymar's and Leo Messi's and Karim Benzema's and Lewandowski's. So like, you must not win it, okay? Bayern haven't won it since 2013. They haven't killed themselves. But the truth about the thing is that the manner in which Pep has gone out, because he's gone out to teams which are far more inferior than him, has made it extremely disappointing. Very, very extremely disappointing. And Pep was not brought solely to win the Champions League, but Pep's appointment was kind of something that we looked at, even from the board's perspective and from the fans' perspective, as something to now take Manchester City from that stage of, okay, we've won a couple of domestic titles, to be able to stamp themselves as a domestic force in the league, and also to now become a force continentally. And for Pep Guardiola, he's done one part quite well. Not just well, superbly well. The amount of points, the amount of wins, the amount of records he's done domestically, the amount of trophies, the quadruple winning all the trophies in England there is to be won last season, has something that was never been done before. And this man, Pep Guardiola, did it last season. So he's done one part. And the other part, which is to establish themselves as European giants, he's failed woefully, I must say. I will use the word woefully. Yes, Pep has failed extremely woefully. So it depends on you how you want to now take this part, these two parts of the job, and weigh side by side. But the fact he's done particularly well in one means that he can't be called a failure. But now I want you guys to comment below and tell me what exactly this means. Pep doing extremely well on the domestic front, but also being very disappointing on the European front. What does this mean for Pep Guardiola's legacy? What exactly does this mean? How do you now rate his time at Manchester City? Let me know. Thank you. Hi guys, it's Tana here, and I want to tell you guys to please consider subscribing to this channel, because you wouldn't get another channel where you see the best, most analytical, accurate, unbiased football views. Forget about every other thing and give us a try if you truly like football. If you truly like football. If you truly like football, give us a try and subscribe now. Thank you.